Hello guys, welcome to JD Bots and welcome back to ToDo Bot video series part 2. So, in the last video, we had covered setting up our development environment, then creating a welcome card using adaptive card. So, this is the project we have set up in our last video. And we have removed the unwanted files and folders which we don't need in this project. And also we have created this adaptive card which will show up in the initially when the user joins the conversation. So in this video we'll try to build some logic for the main dialogue and we'll write some code. Okay, so before writing some code we have to design our project. So in this, for creating a chatbot, designing a project structure is very important so that you plan in advance, then you go step by step. So I'm going to create a simple flow diagram that we will follow while we create our bot. Okay, so initially will be shown the main dialogue. Alright, and in the main dialogue we'll ask the user three things. First, create task. Second, view task. And third, delete task. So this all three will be part of an adaptive card. We'll show these options in an adaptive card. And after user selects any of these options, then this will direct the user to a separate dialogue. So basically these three are the dialogues. Okay, and this will be a create dialogue, similarly view dialogue, and at the last delete dialogue. Okay, in each of these dialogues we'll ask the user some questions. So let's say in the create dialogue we'll ask the user, okay, give a task. So this will be initially when the control comes to the create dialog, we'll ask the user give a task. Then user will enter the task. Give task. And based on the tasks provided by the user, we'll be storing them in a list. So those are the technical requirements that will not write it here. Okay, then we'll save it in a list, and finally we'll ask the user again the same question, give a task. But before that we'll ask the user that would you like to add more tasks or not. So if the user clicks on yes, then we'll again ask him give a new task. So basically this will run in a loop if the user gives yes, I would like to add more tasks. Okay, so this control will come here again. So if it is yes, if it is no, then control move back to the create dialog. That will be not create dialog, it should be main dialog. Yeah, basically it will show all the three options again, that would you like to create, view and delete. And similarly for the view dialog, will show all the tasks created by the user, show tasks, and again control goes back to the main dialog. So there it will show again create, view, delete. And in the delete dialog, so we'll show the task and also ask the user which task they want to delete. Okay, so we'll specify ID for each task so that user will enter that ID, and then we can directly delete it. So we'll be showing like this one dot, and like say Sunday appointment. This is one of the tasks. Call a friend. Suppose this is another task. Okay, so first we'll show the user this all the tasks, then we'll ask users select the task which you want to delete. Or just give the number of that task which you want to delete. Like I'll say for delete. Okay, and we delete it. Then we again ask, would you like to delete more tasks? Okay, then if the user say yes, then control moves back to showing all the tasks along with the removed tasks. So what we have done is the create dialog, right? So we ask the user, would you like to create more tasks? Then control moves back to the starting of the create dialog. Similarly, it moves back to the starting of the delete dialog. If user says yes, I would like to add more I'd like to delete more tasks. So if user says no, then control goes back to the main dialog, and we show this three options again: create, view, delete. Alright, so just ignore this very bad flowchart. It's just the rough work, okay? Yeah, so this typical flow diagram will follow. So today we'll cover the first part. So this one, main dialog, will ask the user three things, that is create, view and delete, and which will be in the form of adaptive card. Alright, so let's do it. So you might have seen our main dialog. We have removed each and every content from it. That is currently we have three steps. So let's start from the beginning. So you define the steps in the constructor that you want to follow. So this will be this is called the waterfall dialog model. We'll use the waterfall dialog model. If you want to learn more, I have created a video on that. You can watch it. I'll put the link in the description. So in this dialogues, we add all the dialogues which we are going to use in this file. Okay, and this will be executing sequentially. So first intro step will get executed, the next act step, then final step. So basically this main dialog is the root dialog of all the sub dialogues. So here we have seen, right? So this will be the root dialog where we'll be connecting or calling these sub dialogues, that is create dialog, view dialog and delete dialog based on the user selection. So we'll ask the user here. So that piece of code will be writing in the intro step. Okay, so I've usually written this code long back. Actually got it from the one of the documentation, so I'll just paste it there. There's a long piece of code, but the things which you want to change is just this part of the code, that is what options you want to give to the user, and what message before the option you want to give. I'm increasing the code size so that it will be easily viewable to you. I hope let me increase a little bit more. Yeah, this looks better, right? I think you can pause the video and just copy paste this one or write it down. I'll be creating a blog on this so that you can directly copy paste from that blog. Okay, so yeah, so what operation would you like to perform? Okay, this statement is pretty straightforward. We'll be asking the user and we'll be showing these options. So first option, we are going to give him create task, view task, and delete tasks. Okay, and first we need to download the adaptive card package, that is install the adaptive card package. For that you need to go to dependencies, right click on that and manage NuGet packages. So when you come down to browse, just give the adaptive card. There it is. Just install it. Okay, so we have successfully installed the adaptive cards NuGet package, and let's come back to the main dialog. You'll see the error in the adaptive card because we haven't imported. So if this IntelliSense feature of Visual Studio is pretty good, just you hover over the error and you can select the quick fixes from the drop down below. So yeah, so using adaptive card, so it will import the adaptive card statement at the top level. See here, using adaptive cards. Alright, and yeah, so it's going to create a adaptive card for me, and yeah, we need to install this also, Newton Soft. So if you have already installed, you'll just have to import, otherwise you'll have to install that package. And also the choice factory, which is from this particular library or package. Okay, so this will create an adaptive card for us with the three options, that is create task, view task, and delete task. So now currently we have only created the adaptive card, we haven't captured the user input. So that portion we'll be covering in the act step. So whatever user clicks on that, we just capture that information. But before that, before capturing it, let's just repeat, like show that again and again. Let's just not write anything in the next step. We just give the control as step context dot next async. So this will move to the next step, and we are passing the argument as null, so we don't want to pass anything, just move to next step without any data from the previous step. Okay, it has to be await because it is asynchronous. And okay, so this directly moves to the last step, that is final step. And final step, what it does, it just start from the beginning. Replace dialog async initial dialog id. So it starts from the beginning. This initial dialog id we have assigned it here. So it will ask this same thing, what operation would you like to perform. So whatever you click, whatever option you click on, it will ask the same thing again, because we have made it like repeat. Okay, let's run this one and just check. Till now we haven't captured the user input. We'll be clicking on the input, but we haven't captured it. Okay, our bot is ready. Let's restart the conversation. So see, so it was asking like what operation would you like to perform, but it was giving me some error. The bot encountered an error. So let's fix that one. So till here it was fine. Like, see, this was executed successfully. So let's give a breakpoint here and start debugging. Click on debug and start debugging. This debug feature is pretty much powerful actually. So it will open up this debug diagnostic controller thing on your Visual Studio. So once we click on restart conversation, then only this debug process will start. So it will show us till the what operation, and then it will stop so that we can go step by step after that. Yeah, here it is. Okay, yeah, we have put the breakpoint on this. So now when we move next, so there in the bot emulator you'll see the message what operation, and we step into, so that is fine. Like in the operation list we have these 3 options, and using adaptive card this is also fine. And the issue might be in the return statement. So let's see what's the issue. So control is coming to the adapter with error handler. There we'll see the actual error. So the error is, let me open this one and put it in the notepad so that it will be clearly visible to you. Where to set the text size? I guess here. I'm sorry, my PC is really slow. It became really big. Yeah. So it says that a dialog with ID of choice prompt wasn't found. So remember, whatever prompts you'll be using in your dialog, you'll have to initialize them in the constructor. So this is what it was asking. For example, if subclassing component you call add dialog, so whatever dialogues also you'll be calling in the dialog class, so that also you need to initialize in the constructor. So let's do that. Choice prompt. Coming back to the main dialog, let's stop this debugging. So in the constructor, currently we have this text prompt initialized. We haven't initialized a choice prompt. So see here, we are using the choice prompt. There it is. So let's just add that as well. Add dialog. New choice prompt. Okay. Now let's rerun this one. Let's see if we have any other issue. Restart the conversation. Oh, pretty nice, right? So here they have shown us create task, view task, and delete task. And when we click on create task, see it again, show us the same thing. If we click on view task, same thing. Delete task, same thing. Because in the next step, that is act step, let's remove this breakpoint. Because in the act step, we have given that move to the next step with the null. So we are not passing any values, just move to the next step. And in the last step, we are just initializing, we are just repeating the same thing from the beginning, from the initial dialog. Okay. Yeah, I think okay. Now let's capture that user input. So what we have done, so this 2 lines of code. So this bot framework is like repeating the same thing again and again. So you'll be reusing the same piece of code many times. So it's better you keep a track of those codes which you'll be using. And from the next async, alright. So I'm storing them in the operation values, and whatever user has selected, we are taking it and storing it here, and then we are passing it to the operation variable. Okay, the same thing. Okay, now we have captured the user input, and let's print it in the bot itself. Await step context dot context dot send activity. So this will send the user a message, and let's frame the message, that is message factory dot text, and here we'll be writing our message. And let's say you have selected, and let's concatenate with the operation and cancellation token. Okay, yeah, so it will send the user the message that you have selected and with the option he has selected. Alright, and then it moves to the next step without passing any values. So let's run this one. I guess it might already be running, because whatever changes you make, it is real time. So let's restart the conversation. So I'll write it as, okay, I think that we have to rerun. If you make a small change, then I think you don't have to do this thing every time. If it is like more lines of code, then I believe we have to run every time. I think JavaScript is better. The moment you make any changes, it gets reflected. Okay, I'll write it as create task. You see, you have selected create task. Let me click on view task. You have selected view task and delete task. Okay, I think I have put one more as. Let's delete that one. It's not synchronizing with the other two option. Okay, now it's better. Now let me save this one and you'll see the changes because I have made a small change. You can make sure that if your code is running or not. At the last statement, when you make any changes, at the last you will see that IIS Express is running. So if you restart and click on, see, now it is showing as delete task. I have removed that S from that. Okay, now I think for today this much will be pretty much good for us. In the next video we'll route or we'll transfer the control to the new dialog. Okay, based on the user selection. There will be just using the if else condition. Okay, I think let me give an homework for you. So here you'll, based on the user selection, we'll have to send the user to the new dialog. Okay, for that you need to create 3 new dialogs, that is create task dialog, view task dialog and delete task dialog. You can create in this particular folder or you can create a new subfolder in the dialogs and then create all the 3 if you want to organize your code well. Okay, and yeah, so based on the user selection we'll use the if else statement and then we'll send those user to the particular dialogs. All right, okay guys, thank you all, see you in the next video.